What's up, Way of Sports, man? Another podcast video. We back with another NBA film breakdown. Today, we're just going to take it back to last year in the playoffs. I want to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers, you guys, made an unprecedented run to the Western Conference Finals, and they had to face the soon-to-be NBA champions, Denver Nuggets. And when you want to be a champion, there are certain things that you have to be able to do that aren't necessarily basketball related. And when I say that, it's not about getting a stop on defense. It's not necessarily about scoring a clutch bucket here or there. There are certain things, small elements in the game, that if you build up these particular bad habits over the course of a full season, those elements will ultimately, if you don't nip them in the bud with staunch coaching, can come back to haunt you in vital moments of your season. We're going to pull some of those moments up. And, obviously, you have to applaud the Lakers for making a great run to get where they're at. But I don't believe they were that bad to be swept. And one of the reasons why they were swept against the Denver Nuggets is because when faced with adversity, those bad habits that they had early in the season when they weren't very good started to kick back in. I'm going to detail to you guys what those bad habits were. Let's go ahead and get to the video. All right, here we have it right here. Look, we see Anthony Davis attempting to get to the rim. Obviously, Nikola Jokic holds his ground, puts up a solid contest. Anthony Davis, what is he doing? He's crying. He's crying to the refs for a foul. Obviously, now look, we all know that play could have went either way. It didn't look like Jokic didn't leave the ground for one. Didn't look like he reached too much. He pretty much stayed down. Anthony Davis just ran into a bigger body and couldn't move him. But what is Anthony Davis doing on this play? As opposed to sprinting back just to get the stop, and some of the best teams, championship level teams, what did they do well? They sprint back. They slow up transition points. They stop the other team from getting easy buckets. They have short memories. You miss a shot, you don't get a call, you have a short memory, you get back with the intent that you're going to get the stop and you'll be able to try again once you get the stop. But what is Anthony Davis doing? He's intentionally right here making sure that he has eye contact with the ref as opposed to sprinting back with Jokic, who's off on the break. We see Austin Reeves ahead of Anthony Davis. He's supposed to be defending Michael Porter Jr., but now he has to veer off of Porter Jr. because AD doesn't want to run. He wants to cry to refs. And Porter Jr. is able to waltz to the lane and get a foul. Here's another play right here. Anthony Davis throws up the floater. But what's happening here? You have Austin Reeves. You have Anthony Davis being extremely lackadaisical in transition. And they're allowing a 285-pounder in Nikola Jokic to outrun them in transition. Jokic's getting out on the break. He's making an easy pass to Aaron Gordon. And these are things that have absolutely zero to do with talent. These are things that can simply be fixed by just giving just a little bit more effort. But what are these things also representative of? These are things that are also representative of who the Lakers were early in the season when things weren't going their way. We saw them looking at the refs, blaming the refs a ton during that, especially during that time frame when they had Russell Westbrook. Right? I did a video talking about how LeBron's leadership has waned to the degree that he allows bad body language to be contagious throughout these Laker teams. And that's something we really haven't seen in the past. And I think throughout his career, that's been one of his biggest weaknesses in the realm of leadership. But when LeBron complains to the refs, AD complains to the refs, when LeBron is not sprinting back on defense, when AD isn't sprinting back on defense, those things are contagious. And so now you have a guy in Austin Reeves who's usually a pretty good hustle player, now not sprinting back on defense. And that's going to have a trickle down effect to all of the players on the team, because unconsciously they're going to assume that these things are okay. But these are the things that ultimately led to the demise of the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's one of the reasons why they got swept by the Denver Nuggets. Bad body language, complaining, not being able to deal with adversity, not understanding that you complaining to the refs is advantage for the other team. If the refs miss a call, well, we know refs miss a ton of calls. You have to have short memories. You have to get back. When we think about this Denver Nugget run, even if you think about the Miami Heat run, how many times did you see those players stopping, complaining, staring down the refs, not sprinting back at transition? If your goal is to get to the NBA Finals, you're not going to allow bad habits like this to seep into your team. So as this next NBA year progresses, as I watch the Lakers and as I watch a ton of teams that did not have a ton of success last year, or at least didn't get to the finals, what I like to look for, and this is something that I use to kind of determine who I'm picking to go farther or not. What I'm going to look for is I'm going to look for habits like this. I saw these habits from the Lakers early. Those habits kind of waned after the trades because obviously after the trades, the adversity lessened. You brought in better players. You brought in guys that fit the system a little bit better. And so you saw some things and you saw some successes. So the adversity lessened. And to throw criticism at LeBron and even Anthony Davis, they seem to be front-running style of players. What I mean by that is when things are good, they look like great leaders. They're high, they're up, they're great bench guys. But when things are bad, they both tend to look like they're pouting and they look like they have trouble dealing with adversity. And ultimately, like I said before, this was the demise of the Los Angeles Lakers. And this is something that if LeBron James is looking to capture another championship, he's going to have to find a way to nip these things in the bud. He's still a great player. AD's still a great player. The Los Angeles Lakers revamped their roster by re-signing all of their young guys, and they added talent to that team. They're going to be good talented wise. But are they going to correct these types of mistakes? The small things, the things that actually cost you games, not necessarily missing shots here or there or not getting a stop here or there. It's about the effort. But you guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Definitely looking forward to hearing back from you guys on this one. Like I said, criticism in any particular loss can be doled out if it's doled out properly, and you have to use video to support it. And we're not going to be some of these casuals or some of these platforms out here that just like to spew the hate, but they don't like to come with the facts that support it. But it's FYF Sports. It's been another great podcast video. We will be back with more sports and news. But until then, it's FYF Sports. And we out.
On my own, no fixer. I'm gon' ball, no picker. That I8 doors, they live for. Talking on my back, go figure. Whole team eats from Spitter.